Who could have seen this coming? This guy right here.
Years ago.
And now you might, well, it's funny you say that, Brew, because so let's show Trevor these last 4 games. I'm taking this off. Let's show Trevor the last 4 games, Dust, where he's been the best player in the league. And it's like, I mean, no, this is an aberration. We've never seen anything like this from him. Or have we? The graphic that you guys banished from the show. Trevor Lawrence, no. This is more than a season from week 9 of 2022 until he got injured in 2023. That's
minus weeks 5.
No,
I mean,
what minus? It is an uninterrupted
That's
stretch
still
of
not
time.
Close, though. That's not close
well,
to
no,
this.
but it was that was his only year 2 as a young player. So here's the deal about Trevor, and then we'll get to the Jags. And I said this to Wilds earlier, and I think you might agree, Brew. But I'll say it to you, Coach. I don't think his better got better. I think he eliminated the awful. So, like, the reason that I could never quit Trevor is when we show you any year of his career, his 10 best throws, they could line up to the 10 best throws any other player made. The problem was he would have, to go along with it, some of the goofiest, worst plays, just dropping the ball or throw red zone interceptions. And what he has done the second half of this year is keep the high-level stuff, eliminate the awful stuff. The team has rallied around the hate from the national media, most notably Kevin Wildes, and they are a real threat. With the quarterback playing like this and a defense that is as opportunistic as that one, they are a real threat.
He sounds a lot like Caleb. And it's so funny that it's so funny that Nick's talking about this, because I just thought of what a terrible trade Nick made earlier in the season when he originally traded away the Trumpeteers.
Yeah.
And now here, that was so kind of you, Kevin, in this holiday season to give those Trumpeteers back to him. Yeah. And you have to take Jacksonville seriously. And I do, to your point, the huge mistakes seem to be being drawn back in. And even collectively as a team, I kept waiting during that game for Jacksonville to do a Jacksonville type thing. And especially against Denver, in Denver, who's historically been able to come back late. They're so tough deep. All the things that we know about Denver. And then Jacksonville was able to rise up. And this is, again, without Travis Hunter, where I wonder how much of an impact he could have made in this moment and in this run. But I'm really impressed by the way that he's been able to not recover, but just get back to the quarterback that I think a lot of, especially you, thought he could be.
No, they're legit. Like, they could get to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
You know, I'm not saying that whether I'll pick them or not, you know, if the Ravens.
Wow.
They can.
What a moment.
And here's why. Look at the quarterbacks in the field. Aaron Rodgers is old.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got Josh Allen, but everybody else, Bo Nix, I'm taking him over Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Drake, even at
You're
this.
not taking him over Drake.
If he's going to play like this, because
taking him over
he's
Drake,
somewhat no, for this playoff run.
You're
Right, the way
Trevor Lawrence over
I'm
Drake?
not saying I would take him like if I was starting a team, but for Drake, we don't know how he's going to respond to his first playoff. Okay, we'll see.
We do know how Trevor's going to play.
Trevor has experience, though. That's experience.
Had one bad
Even
half.
if he was bad.
He's played 4 halves. He's had 1 bad half.
How bad was that half?
No,
it was a horrible half.
It was awful.
But that's the playoff experience.
experience.
That's playoff experience.
I guess so,
I mean,
sure.
CJ has not. I mean, this weekend the Raiders gave him trouble because CJ struggled. Like, if you look at the field, other than Josh Allen, you could argue you would take him over anybody when you talk about experience.
Okay. Jacksonville Jaguars fans, I'm going to show you right now why you need to subscribe and why you need to watch the full length of the video, because I'm about to actually have a real conversation about the Jacksonville Jaguars and not whatever this is right now. I'm about to share a take that if I was at this table right now, it'd be like, yeah, you're right. You're right. This Jacksonville Jaguars team and Trevor Lawrence, how successful and how great they've been, does not need to be reduced to, well, look, they're going up against C.J. Stroud and Bo Nix and Drake May and playoff experience. I don't care if this is the 2022 Kansas City Chiefs, the 2023 Kansas City Chiefs, the 2023 Baltimore Ravens. Like, I don't care about any of that. I don't care if Joe Burrow's in there with I don't know, pick whatever year he was actually successful in the playoffs. This Jacksonville Jaguars team can hang. No question about it. No question about it. And I totally know what Nick said is wrong about, oh, he only got rid of the lower points, you know? The higher points are still kind of the same. No, he elevated his ceiling even more. The throws that he is making and the volume and the rate in which he is making them is incredibly high level. So he raised his ceiling and he raised his floor. And he raised his floor. But before I go on, as I kind of joked earlier in my take, please, Jacksonville Jaguars fans, do not forget to watch the full-length video and subscribe. You guys know I keep asking you to do that because Jacksonville Jaguars fans, you got it, the views are just kind of non-existent. And I really do try my best to keep making Jacksonville Jaguars kind of like I'm not giving up. I am committed because I believe in this team. I believe in Trevor Lawrence. I believe in Liam Cohen. I believe in their potential. I'm not giving up. When you guys watch the full length of the video and you subscribe, it truly causes an avalanche. It really does. Views go through the roof. Subscribers go through the roof. And like I keep emphasizing, and some of you are probably like, you keep saying this, but I got it, and I'll show you why. But it's not about just chasing views. It's not about just chasing, subscribers. Obviously, I want the subscribers. Obviously, I want the views, right? Not going to hide that. But it's about trying to create legitimate content that people genuinely want to watch so we can have real conversations and build a real community. I'm trying so hard to get to 80, 90, 100,000 subscribers before the playoffs, which is a lofty goal. Let's be serious here. I'm trying my best because I want to be able to live stream these playoff games. I want to party, man. I want to create something special, and I really see it as we, not me, and I truly, truly feel that way. And again, what I'm trying to emphasize here is that, like, it's just me. I'm just a person. I only have so much time in the day, only so much energy, and I got to pick and choose the topics and the teams that I think people want to interact with, that they want to have the conversations about, that they want to watch, right? Like, that's really what it comes down to. And, yesterday, Monday, making videos, making Steelers, Bears, Patriots, etc. The views are 8,000, 12,000, 4,000, 5,000, 4,000, and the Jags are 922. Okay, like, and the comments are, a third of the other teams. And, that's the time of me making this video. Maybe when you look at it now, maybe it's increased. We'll kind of wait and see. What I've noticed is that some of the Jaguars videos are a little bit of a late bloomers. I made one Jags video over the weekend, and it was like, someone commented and was like, oh man, he's not going to be happy. There's only like 400 views right now. And I was like, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. And that video eventually actually did really well. And so, like I said, man, I want to be able to keep making Jags content. I didn't even bat an eyelash, yesterday making that Jags video with the herd and whatnot. And I was hopeful that it would hang with the other videos. Not so much, but like I said, I'm not giving up. I want to keep talking about the Jags. Just please keep watching. Please keep subscribing. But I mean, I don't think we have to look at the Jacksonville Jaguars through this narrow lens right now. Listen, I've been talking about like how the playoffs are crazy and what does it mean for Bo Nix to go up against Drake May and all of that and that this is the best year for you to have a team that's like pretty good and be in the playoffs because like we don't have the 23 Ravens or the 22 Chiefs or whatever. Those are great established teams that we've seen. The Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. Like, Josh Allen's amazing. I don't know how good the Buffalo Bills are this year. That defense is I feel like I can hang 30 on them. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, the quality of play that they have right now, like, their success is not contingent on them just going up against quarterbacks who, I don't know, don't have an incredibly long track record in the playoffs. I mean, the NFL and the playoffs are always littered with kind of plenty of teams that like, let's not pretend like every single year we just have like prime Mahomes, prime Allen, prime Burrow, prime Lamar, prime Brady, prime River, and it's just like, it's nothing but elite. It's just like, it's always a mixed bag. You're always going up against, the Bills last year beat rookie quarterback Bo Nix, right? Like, it's like you're always going to kind of have a mix of teams and quarterbacks and newer coaches, whatever. Especially right now where there's lots of movement. Sam Darnold's randomly with the Seahawks right now. It's like, what even is that? So Liam Cohen, brand new coach with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's like, huh? And he was the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like, wait, what? And that Bucs team lost to rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels, right? Like, there's lots of musical chairs going on around here. And the reality is that I can't say the Jags, because this is obviously such a different team over these years and obviously different coaching staff, but Trevor Lawrence, at least individually, like, he does have playoff experience. And that does mean something. It does. I'm not downplaying experience. I always talk about experience and being a seasoned veteran, et cetera, et cetera. What I'm really just trying to emphasize more than anything is like, even if this was a more traditional year where we have a lot of the usual suspects having a lot of success, the Mahomeses, et cetera, the way how this Jaguars team is playing right now, I just would in no way would I be like, yeah, I don't know. Can Trevor really keep up with Lamar and the Ravens? It's like, yes, they can. That's just the way that's just the way I'm looking at it, and I'm just been wildly impressed. And like I keep trying to emphasize, Trevor didn't just remove the ugly. Like, because like what Nick is saying, he's like, oh, you see some of these top plays all around the league, and that's why I haven't given up on Trevor. And I always talk about that. It has to do with consistency, that you have legitimate backup quarterbacks. NFL. It's why we've seen so many of these. Did you see Malik Willis the other day? That dude was balling. He was straight up balling. Tyler Huntley, not his last game, but against the Bears, he looked better than Lamar Jackson. I mean, like, seriously, he had some moments when you were like, that's Lamar Jackson out there. So backup quarterbacks have that. That's why we always have the Minshew manias and whatnot. It's been consistent throughout the course of the NFL. Nick Foles literally outdueling Tom Brady. I think he's got the record for like the most touchdowns in a single game or whatever, and was like up there with the most consecutive completions, right? But no one's confusing Nick Foles with Peyton Manning. And so you can always have those moments. And so it's not only about raising the floor, but it's also how consistently can you be great. And so his ceiling has elevated, maybe not because his peak in terms of like the peak moments that he's been able to do, but the area under the curve, it's just that there's more of those peak moments. There's more of that. And that raises your ceiling tremendously because you're having more area under the curve. And so it's just been awesome to see. And this isn't just a matter of like Trevor getting healthy or this or that. Like, he has a good enough team around him and a great enough coaching staff around him. He's more mature. He's starting to get it more and more. He's connecting with Liam Cohen, and Liam Cohen is consistently putting him in great positions to succeed, and he is executing. And he is also tasked with being a playmaker and making plays. And it's just been incredibly impressive to watch. And so I'm not going to minimize, because make no mistake, when you say like, hey, this team could reach a Super Bowl because look at the rest of the field right now, you're minimizing the Jags at that moment of time. You really are. And again, I've maybe made statements similar to that, although I feel like I phrased it a little bit differently and a little bit more nuanced, because again, on the surface area, I don't know. On the surface level, those statements are true. Like what Brew is saying is true, but I just think it needs to be emphasized that this team is playing as great right now, where it's like, I don't really care who's playing right now. I don't care who you have to face. I'd love in a vacuum, not necessarily a Super Bowl, but like, even though that's how it would have to be, like I'd love to see, because you guys know I keep harping on that Jags Rams game. I'd love to see what that looks like again. I'd love to see what that looks like again. But I mean, because I just think this team is just night and day difference. It really is. And it's just impressive. And this is what I always talk about. Post-bye, and I'll end here. When you have a bye, it's the time that your team gets to really self-audit. The coaching staff, etc., they really get to just pile over all the data that they have about their team. They're not constantly now looking, on to the next week and trying to prepare. And so they get to figure out what's working, what's not working, what adjustments they need to do, things that they need to work on, or things that they just need to be like, you know what, we can't work on this. This is a next year problem. We just have to minimize this, etc. And you can see, right? Loss, bye, right? And that's when they got rocked. That's this game that I'm not letting it go because it just bears into my soul. You beat the Raiders, which was like a weird game. Overtime against the Raiders shouldn't have been. You lose the Texans, who obviously are feisty, and then it's just win. And just significantly higher quality ball. Significantly higher quality ball. And they just haven't looked back right now. They really haven't. And they deserve all the credit. They deserve all the credit in the world. It's just great to see teams continue to evolve and grow throughout the course of the season. Just as another perfect example why, you just can't check out of the season and why you can't just keep looking to the playoffs. This is the one thing that drives me crazy about sports media is that by week 1, we're already like, yeah, but can they do it in the playoffs? And it's like, I don't know, man. It's September, okay? I'm not going to be talking about the playoffs right now. I just want to enjoy the season. And so, even right now, I get why we're talking about the playoffs, but like even now they're like, but can they do it in the playoffs? What about the experience? And it's like, this team is playing awesome right now. We can theoretically say this about every team. Can the Rams defense step up in the playoffs? I don't know, and neither do you. Can the Eagles continue this momentum in the playoffs? I don't know, and neither do you, right? Can the Chiefs make the playoffs? No, they cannot. At least we know that. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Jacksonville Jaguars? Did they earn your respect on Sunday? That's a heck of a question. And do you believe they're legit? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.